Hello, happy men asylum, it is I, Necra Octavian Kane. What a wonderful feeling it is to return to my beloved asylum. Now, I asked management, no, I demanded to have a match. And what did they do? They put me up against someone that I know all too well. Dark Princess. I have to admit, I wasn't thrilled at the fact at first, but then I thought about it and thought about it. Then I realized this is the perfect opportunity for me to make my comeback. My dear oops. Dark Princess, I heard what you had to say, and I'm not impressed. You see, I am more than a mere toy, and I do not break easy. That's one thing you need to learn. You don't break your toys anyway. But this little match will not be easy. I'll make sure of that, and your dear vines are no match for what I have in store for you. Trust me, I am not an easy target, and you already know that. Or at least you should. Now, this reminds me of a story. And then here in Dreadmother's corner, I think it's time, don't you? Now gather round, my dear children, and listen to what Dreadmother has to say. Because this has a moral, and one that Dark Princess needs to hear. Stories of Eurydice and Orpheus. Orpheus was a king who loved to play in his lyre. His music drew so many from across the world. Even the wild women of the forest would come out and beg him to play the most beautiful music in the world. So he did. One day he wandered into the forest where the dryads dwelled. And well, he had awoken something, or someone. Eurydice. She was beautiful, charming, and loved Orpheus with all her heart, as he did her. Now, Eurydice was a dryad, so she had connection to her trees, to her people. And she wanted to go back to the forest, but Orpheus told her no. It was a dangerous place full of satyrs and so many other creatures. One day she wandered into the forest on her own. There she came across Pan. Pan was half man and half goat, which was a satyr. Now, Pan played around with her, joked with her, kidded her, and even taunted and teased her, flirted with her. The whole time it was just a game for the satyr. But Eurydice, starting to grow panicked, and accidentally stepped on a snake that bit her. Orpheus came running to save his beloved, but only in time to see her die from the snake bite. Pan was beside himself, thinking it was his fault that Eurydice was dead. He tried to revive her, being sweet as he could, but to no avail. Orpheus knew what he had to do. He had to wander to the other side. He had to go to the underworld to bring his beloved back. But first, he had to get through Hades. A man that was unmoved by feelings of any type. So, on Orpheus went. Down the stairs to the depths of the underworld. He came across Charon first and offered a song. But Charon would not be moved. In the skiff already sat his beautiful Eurydice, waiting to be ferried across the other side. Charon said, "Sit and do not open your mouth." Orpheus handed him the 2 coins that was customary for her payment, and his. Once they reached the other side, Orpheus followed Eurydice into the depths of Hades' kingdom. There he sat upon a throne with his beloved Persephone at his side. He begged and pleaded with them, but Hades would not lose a soul. So Orpheus asked if he could play a song. If he managed to move the great Hades, then she would be released to him. He played such a beautiful song, my heart moved. I looked at Hades and I asked, please release her. For a man that plays such sorrowful music should not be meant to dwell alone. Of course, Hades looked at me and said he would, but with caution. Eurydice would be released if, and only if, Orpheus would not cast his gaze upon her until he reached the surface. Of course, Orpheus agreed. All the way back through along the skiff, river Styx, he could not look at her. She followed, of course. No heartbeat, no breath. Her footsteps were shallow. So needless to say, he started to worry. When he reached the stairs, about halfway up, almost to the top, he could see the light at the top of the stairs. He turned to look at his beloved because he could not hear her. And away she went, back in a flash, back into the depths from which they came. Now, I told you this story for the simple moral. Be careful what you wish for, what you ask for in life. Now, I know you're probably thinking I should be the one careful what I wish for, but I'm not. You see, Dark Princess wants this match just as much as I do, as she thinks she has me. Already broken in, already meant to suffer at her hands, but there is no suffering to me. I will not be the one to suffer. She will. And this is not my swan song. This is my beginning and her end. Dark Princess, you have no idea what you've gotten yourself into, do you? I guess you will when we step in the ring again. And when you do, you will realize, my dear, I am your superior, and always have been. I am the goddess of the dead, queen of death, the angel of death, reaper of souls, the lady in black, the crawling chaos, the creeping death, the child of heaven and hell. Fear me, for when you look upon me, you'll see your end. See you soon and good luck. You're going to need it.